chirping birds, the loud clang of my alarm clock, and the obnoxious hammering of woodpeckers outside jarred me awake. I thought as hard as I could to remember where I was. Then suddenly, my mind cleared and my excitement hit me like a train. I was on a monkey excursion. Jumping out of bed, I walked across the old, creaky floor to the kitchen. I grabbed a pan, got some eggs and bacon sizzling, popped some toast in the oven, and plugged in the kettle. And as I waited for my food, my mind began to race. Where exactly was I when I saw him? Did he really have a brown head and a black tail? Had I really located the three-toed leopard monkey? The oven bell and the boiling kettle broke my train of thought, and I quickly scarfed down my food. As I was eating, I became distracted by my monkey thoughts again, and I didn't even hear the soft chattering of a monkey outside my window. As it got louder, I snapped out of it, and I looked up. There he was, standing in my window, almost singing me a good morning song. I slowly reached for my camera, but in a flash he was gone. I jumped up, threw my dishes in the sink, grabbed my camera and my rubber ducky, you never know, and ran out the door after him. At this point, I'd already named him Jim, and I knew I had to collect some info on him and his kind. When I got outside, I had the revelation they don't call it a rainforest because of all the sunshine they get. The wind was starting to pick up, and I could hear the distant groan of thunder. Hopping into my Jeep, I clicked in my seatbelt and gave a key a turn. Ugh! Come on, he's getting away! I honked my horn in frustration. Finally, the starter caught, and off I was. But which way had he gone? Just then, he jumped across some trees above me and started chattering to me again. What are you trying to tell me, buddy? I asked. Can you show me where your family lives? Now, I know it sounds silly, but at that moment, I felt like we had an understanding. He was going to take me to his family. Maybe it's because I hadn't slept that well that night, or that I've watched too many jungle adventure movies, but to this day, I am sure I heard tribal drums playing me a soundtrack as I followed Jim through the jungle. He didn't follow the road, but I was determined not to lose him. Up a hill, down a hill, around a corner, through a stream, past a cliff. He never slowed down. And whenever I thought that I was about to lose him, he'd turn around and give me a reassuring, as if to say, don't give up on me. There's not many of us left, and we need your help. Then, just as we entered a less wooded area, the rain started. Lightly at first, just a mist. But then, as the clouds began to grow darker and the wind began to howl and the rain started to pick up, gradually my view of Jim started to grow hazy and I had to squint to see the road. On and on we went, deeper into the jungle than I'd ever dared to venture. I wasn't even sure how to get back, and what if I got lost out here and... Oh, that thunder was close. As if that was the gunshot before the race, the rains picked up speed and started to fall heavier now. Large droplets were landing in my eyes, and the thunder was right above me now. Oh, that was so close. I braced for the next wave of rain, and it came. Heavy, loud, hard. Hail? Yep, it hailed that crazy night in the rainforest. And at that point, I had no choice but to pull over and wait out the storm. I couldn't even see the front of my Jeep. So I curled up in my seat and waited for time to slip by. I must have fallen asleep because when I woke, the sun was setting and the rain had totally stopped. All I could hear now was rain dripping off of leaves and the soft chirping of crickets and frogs. It was very peaceful until I realized that it was getting dark and I was lost. Then, as if he knew I needed him, he poked his squirrely little head out of the tree right in front of me and gave me a little... Jim, I said, I have about had enough. Where are you taking me anyways? Jim stared at me blankly. Then, hastily, but with obvious growing excitement, Jim started to chatter, and chatter, and chatter, as if he was explaining his entire family lineage from the past 100 years and the trials they had had as a species. Finally, when I didn't think I could take any more family history, he let out a long, high-pitched squeal. I knew it was a cue, but for what? Before I even had time to question this strange behavior, I heard rustling in the trees. First quiet, then it grew louder. Then bursting out of nowhere came 12 brown-headed, black-tailed, three-toed leopard monkeys. Chattering, chattering, chattering. And I realized with a sigh of relief, now I could help them. Thanks, Jim.